Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with just a little bit of an update video about the Operationfall3nout. It has been a little over a day since we started this campaign, and so far so good. I just thought I'd tape what we have here. Again, so I posted this on a lot of people have been requesting a list of cards that we need for the various decks. So I've actually posted some links over at the Facebook page. So again, if you're not a fan of the Facebook page, come on over to Facebook/Rogue Deck Builder, and you can see this list. Also post it in the description, and probably end up posting it on the website as well. So anywho, this is just a little bit of update. So far, we've been able to generate $145 in donations, which I've been able to. What I've done is I put those donations to purchasing some cards, and so far this is what I've been able to get with the 145. So we have 4 Splinter Twins and 2 Spell Skies and 1 Snapcaster Mage that was donated through Brian K. Again, if you donate, I'll try to tell you exactly where your funds were spent. That way you know exactly that I'm not pocketing it or anything. So anyway, and then so 2 Spell Skies, 1 Snapcaster Mage by Brian K. 1 Snapcaster Mage by Sean. 1 Steam Vents and 1 Snapcaster Mage by Ewen, and 3 Remands by Mark. And again, we're going to have, I've already had the question, can you send cards? Absolutely. Send them to P.O. Box 651, Richfield, Utah, 84701. Again, I'll have the link in the description. And so, again, so far so good. The Splinter Twin, that's the guts of Splinter Twin. We do still need like a Kiki Jiki. And of course, I don't even know, like I'm going to try to get the Steam Vents funded, or not the Steam Vents, the Scalding Tartans funded. But we might not get to that point. Like, Scalding Tarns are going to be a little bit on the... I want this deck to be functional more than anything. So if we don't happen to generate enough money to actually replace the Tarns, I think the Splinter Twin can actually function without it. So, again, I hope we do get those. But if we're not, I'm going to focus on the guts of the deck. And so I'm very, very happy to say we have a lot of the guts of this deck already finished. Like, I can throw in like lightning bolts and things like that. I'm just waiting to see if anyone wants to send some lightning bolts, but I do help at a local game store, so it's very easy for me to acquire cards like lightning bolts and like Ataxine probes and things like that. And so anyway, but if you'd like to donate those little pieces, definitely. And if we do get any like duplicates, if we get people that send in cards that we already have enough of, I will just swap them with cards we need from my local game store. Like I said, they'll give me a good deal on it. So big shout out to Jhoira Games for helping us with this. And they've already said that they're probably going to be donating to this as well. So again, my local community is being awesome. If you're ever in the Richfield, Utah area, which I doubt you ever will be because population of 8,000 in the middle of the belly button of Utah, I don't think many people will get out here. But if you do, hey, you can come rock climbing with me. I think that's something we can do. We can go fishing. What is there doing in Richfield, Utah? Anyway, yeah, come stop by Jhoira Games. They've been awesome and a great store, and I'm a big part of it. So yeah, even more reason to give a shout out to them. Anywho, let's see here. So yeah, Splinter Twin's coming along really great. That's my first goal is Splinter Twin. We're gonna get the Splinter Twin completely compiled and send that deck, and then my second priority is gonna be the Jhoira deck, which EDH, because both of Modern and EDH are not a format that rotates. And yes, we do still have till September, end of September, before Standard rotates. But a lot of the cards from Black White Midrange are going to be rotating. So I'm going to put that on a lower priority than the Splinter Twin and the Jhoira deck. So anyway, so let's just give you a little bit of example. Again, I'm going to have these links, but I've got the Jhoira deck popped up here. Jhoira is going to be... Let's see here. Let's pop over to this guy here. Where does it show the commander? It shows it. So she suspends. It removes an online card in your hand from the game and put 4 time counters. And then it suspends, and then you get to cast it. So I'm sure there's a lot of big fatties in this deck. Again, my friend has a deck similar to this. So there's like Kozilek is in here. I'm sure Emrakul would be in here if it wasn't banned. Again, this is just a list that I found on tappedout.net. I'm sure that this list, I'll have to ask Hayden exactly what was in it, as I'm sure these lists can be quite different. Again, the thing about Commander is you're supposed to customize it based upon, like, one thing that Commander players in the past have told me is that Commander is not supposed to be a net decking format. You're supposed to really just find cool combinations, and you know, net decking is discouraged, so I kind of feel bad for showing like a list of Jhoira, but we do want examples of what goes in Jhoira deck, and this is just one that I randomly pulled up. So it can be big creatures, Consecrated Sphinx, Blightsteel Colossus. I can probably, I might have one of these. I'll have to check. I might have a Consecrated Sphinx from back in the day. Arcanus the Omnipotent, Aeon Chronicler. Let's go up here so you can see these pictures. Yeah, a lot of things that have higher casting costs than normal. Niv-Mizzet Draco Genius, Niv-Mizzet the Firemind, Teferi, Venser, just a lot of cool cards that you can actually cheat out with the Suspend. And then some bigger things like this one has All of Dust. I mean, you guys are Commander. You guys probably know Commander better than I do, but here's just again, this link will be on the Facebook page as well as in the description. Of course, in Tapped Out, you can just type in Jhoira, and you can actually look at other people's ideas. I think Omniscience is pretty universal in this deck because it's just so overpowered. But anyway, and then of course the land base, we're probably going to want a lot of lands that can actually tap for blue and red. So again, we're going to try to make this, again, guts first. I want to get the guts of this deck, the things that actually make the Jhoira deck fun to play, and then we'll focus on the odds and ends. So let's just pull up here. Here's a black-white mid-range, an example of black-white mid-range. We'll get to this eventually, but it's going to be, again, a lot of this, the majority of black-white mid-range is going to be rotating. So I don't know. It's good and bad, because rotating, a lot of people, you guys want to get rid of your cards anyway that are rotating. But I'll have to talk to Hayden, see if he just wants to start building towards another standard deck that isn't going to get just absolutely destroyed by rotation. Because if you look at like this deck, Packrat gone, Blood Baron gone, Desecration Demon God, Opposite gone, Lifebane gone. Could get reprinted, I could see that, but I highly doubt it. Thoughtseized Heroes Downfall, Bile Blight, all going to stay, but Unreal Connections is gone, Ultimate Price is gone. And I guess the spell-wise is still here, but the creature, what makes kind of black-white mid-range the deck that it's good, I guess, you know, this deck will get a little bit of merit because you'll get my analysis on black-white mid-range. How this tries to prey on Mono-Black Devotion, but what I've heard from Mono-Black Devotions is it sometimes doesn't do as good of a job as you think it would do. Like, instead of the Grey Merchant of Asphodels, they tend to run Blood Baron Viscopas. Well, then that just tends to have the black decks actually run a ton of, like, Devour Flesh type cards. So I've even seen some black decks actually splash in blue for Far and Away and go the blue route, but most black decks right now are splashing for Abrupt Decay. And so, yeah, so Blood Baron can stick out, but eventually they can just draw into that Devour Flesh and take care of it that way. And then Opposite as well can be taken care of with Devour Flesh and any sort of instant speed, like the Dark Betrayals are really good against Opposite. But, I mean, the Blood Barons, and I guess this has some of it's a black-white mid-range. Maybe I should even ask Hayden, because I don't have the greatest experience with playing this deck, so I'm sure it might do better than against Esper Control as well. So maybe that's kind of the twofold why people run this deck. It might have the advantage over just the mono black devotion list, and I think the Blood Baron and Opposite are probably a little bit harder to deal with than the traditional cards used in mono black. So I'm thinking that's the reason. And you have access to Elspeth, of course, which, you know, Elspeth being one of the powerhouses in Standard is really good. And then like Sin Collector in the sideboard is probably a very good card as well. So anyway, if you have any of these cards lying around, feel free to send these and we'll try to get this compiled. Again, let me talk to Hayden and see if that's the route he wants to go. That was the deck he suggested. And then again, Twin, I've put a link for Splinter Twin on the description as well as a Facebook page. We already have I had a fan tell me he's going to send in the Deceiver, Exarchs, and Pestermite, so that's probably taken care of. So if you have a Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker, I think that is going to be priority number one. It does look like they only run one. Again, I played against Splinter Twin a lot. I haven't played Splinter Twin personally myself, so I know that Cryptic Commands usually are in this deck, so that's going to be a little bit pricey for us to fund, but I'd love to get those cards funded. Again, we have the remands, just about have the remands, the Spell Skies, the Splinter Twins. So there is some odds and ends like Sarin Visions and some of these less expensive cards that we can definitely get. And of course, I also have a fan saying he's sending in the Sulphur Falls, so awesome. But we could use a few more Steam Vents and some of these, again, odds and ends. What is the damage land, the pain land is what I believe they call it. It's Sheevan Reef. I think that'd be a fine alternative if we can't get the Scalding Tarns funded. But anywho, and then any other ideas that you have for like the sideboard of Splinter Twin, definitely if you want to send them in, that's great. Again, donations are accepted. That's cool as well. But I mean, cards are easier if you have the cards, and you know, so a lot of times it costs a lot less just to donate cards than to donate money, as then I have to pay, you know, pretty full price for some of these cards if I don't have access to them at my local game store. So anywho, I appreciate all of the help. These links will be in the descriptions. We are doing a great job. This is, you know, it's making me feel good to help out the community. I'm glad you guys have rallied around. I've appreciated the comments from everyone. I know Hayden does as well. He did send me an email saying he's just overwhelmed by the response. And again, he wasn't asking for this. So people get the wrong idea. This was me. This was totally, he didn't like beg me for cards. He didn't say, oh, whatever. He asked for advice. He's like, hey, I know you made a video about losing all your cards. What can I personally do to keep my interest in Magic? And I'm like, hey, I'm in the position I can help. Let me at least try to help. Let me at least try to start this. You know, I've been wanting to pay back the kindness that was shown to me. Like I told the story in the video before that my community rallied around me. They donated a crap ton of cards for me to get back into Magic after my $8,000 collection was stolen. And I would not be in this game if it wasn't for my friends in Salt Lake City at Epic Puzzles and Games. Again, big shout out to those guys. Sorry for moving away. You know, thank you. Now is my time to finally pay that back and help another person get back on his feet. And even though he's a whole world away, Hayden's in Australia, I still, you know, feel connected through him through the banner of Rogue Decking, and that he has been a fan, and he, you know, great guy. This whole ordeal has allowed me to kind of know more about, and I'm not going to get into details here because, you know, personally shared, but about his life and who he is as a person. I can tell you he's a great guy, just from our interaction so far. So big thumbs up to everyone that's supporting this cause. I'll leave you the photo here of what I've compiled. Like the remands are on their way, so that's not in the picture, but the picture of three Snapcaster Mage, 2 Spellskies, and 4 Splinter Twins, the guts of the deck, are being compiled. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Also, we got playmats on the way as well. New playmats, so order playmats. So if there is a playmat flag, like if you're from another nationality, you'd like another flag made. I've already had a request for Germany and Slovakia. So if you have a particular country that you'd like the flag, I'm sure that Nate can actually I don't want to overwhelm Nate too much. Big shout out to Nate Slover. He's my artist for the playmats. But if you do want a different type of flag, we are open for suggestions. Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.